volt high voltage line. What will happen if the line is suddenly disconnected? In our daily life, disconnecting a line is a very common phenomenon and does not have any serious consequences. Assuming that a 400,000 high voltage line is suddenly disconnected, the result is completely different. First of all, at the moment of disconnection, there will be an arc connection between the two contact ends that can penetrate the air, which means that the current in the line can still be connected through the arc path, a situation similar to the Lotus root brake. Therefore, it is very difficult to completely disconnect a high-voltage line by conventional methods because the arc is very unstable and difficult to extinguish, and the arc will release thousands of degrees of heat, enough to melt the two ends of the contact and damage it. Therefore, to disconnect this 400,000-volt high-voltage lines, usually need to use a special device called circuit breaker. Now we will learn more about this use of SF6 gas circuit breaker is how to work. All three-phase circuits are of the same construction, with the main line running down from above, passing through an internal connector and out from there, and the mechanical part of the circuit breaker controlling the circuit is just below the line, and its internal connections are shown in the diagram. This copper core rod above is fixed, while this copper sleeve below is movable up and down. When the sleeve moves up to insert the copper rod, the line is on. Controlling the movement of the sleeve is the circuit breaker below the mechanism, which has two springs inside. When the line is connected in the state of force, there is a latch that catches the lever and holds down the spring that stores the force underneath, and this plunger system is connected to a relay that controls the latch of the latch, them before you go. When there is a fault in the line will lead to an abnormal increase in current. Next to these components called the transformer, it can monitor the changes in current. It will be anomalies feedback to the circuit breaker's relay, telling it that there are abnormalities in the line should be tripped. Control snap, this plunger will be outward top, snap off, the spring below is no longer suppressed, it will be very high speed downward push pull rod, and a small set of gearboxes connected above the tie rod through a shaft connected to the three disconnecting sleeves like in the video. The tie rod can control its rotation. The rotation of the connecting shaft will make the copper sleeve downward movement. This cylinder is filled with SF6 gas, which is chemically sulfur hexafluoride and is highly insulating and thermally stable. Once the contact point is separated, a huge electric arc will be generated, and the high temperature released by the arc will lead to the ionization of SF6 gas molecules, and the high energy negative ions generated by ionization will collide with the positive ions in the arc, and the energy of the arc will gradually disappear, and finally all of it will be converted into heat energy. Wait until the circuit breaker side is completely disconnected, and then go back to the manual circuit breaker side to open the isolator, which can be a double safety guarantee. The sudden disconnection of such a powerful line will result in a high-speed flow of current that will backfire from the circuit breaker's contacts, and the abnormally high current may cause damage to subsequent electrical equipment, such as transformers or generators. That's why high-voltage transmission lines are not randomly disconnected, unless there is a sudden and significant situation. Of course, some lines are equipped with measures to redistribute the current load to cope with such sudden disconnections. It is not easy to reconnect a disconnected line because the spring force has been released, so to reload the spring, you must utilize to the back of this motor. The time it takes for the circuit breaker to open and close is actually very short, usually done in about 50 milliseconds. And this gas pressure gauge is what monitors the SF6 gas in the cylinder above and has to be replenished when the pressure is found to be low. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and follow.